Can't use that. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I had this whole thing planned. I was going to go out and shop and do all that stuff, but I'm a little exhausted from this weekend. It was Easter week, so if you know anything about Church 1132, my church, you know that we go hard all week of Easter, so I just decided not to go out today and just to chill. So I put on my Instagram asking you guys to put some questions in that you want to know more about me, and so I am going to answer them. There's a couple here, so hopefully you'll get to know me a little bit more. Grab a cup of coffee of your choice and come hang with me. Alrighty, the first question is, do you only have one tattoo and does it have any meaning? I actually have 3 tattoos, and I want more. Ugh, they're just addictive. When you get started, it's like, it's hard to stop. But yeah, all my tattoos have meanings. This was the first tattoo I got right here. It is a cloud, obviously. But yeah, that was the first one I got about 3 years ago. And that one has a lot of meaning. It was the first word that I had gotten. And if you don't know what that means, I believe that God speaks. And so I was actually in Thailand and this lady gave me a word that she heard from God, and it was just that, like, the clouds are a reminder that God, like, has a purpose for me, has plans for me, like everything I've been praying for, like, God is going to fulfill in his timing. And so to me, it's a really meaningful, and I got in a really hard time in my life, so it was just like what I needed in that moment. But I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And then I have on my rib, like my upper rib, I have 3 flowers that go in like a half moon, and that symbolizes my sister, my mom, and I. And I love that one. That is so fun. One of my friends did it. She's incredible. And then I just got this one, this little bad boy right here, recently, probably like 3 weeks ago. And it's my favorite right now. It's just, I'm in love with it. Yeah, I got that one in Deep Ellum, kind of like a spontaneous, but like I knew I was gonna do it. I don't know. But that one is in Italian because my family's Italian, and that means overqualified in Italian. So that was really the meaning I got behind it, was just that, like, whatever God has called me to, he's overqualified me, so I don't need to like doubt myself. I don't need to doubt like what God's put in me. So all of them really have a lot of meaning, and I'm obsessed with all of them. Okay, this next one, what made you want to get your nose pierced? Did it hurt? So this is actually a really funny story. I think I have a pretty high pain tolerance, so it didn't really hurt. I was just super weird about it because even with my tattoo, my first tattoo, I was just nervous. I didn't know what to expect. So I went to the same place for my nose piercing and my tattoo, and when I got my tattoo, the dude was so rude. Like, he was so rude. He was calling me a baby. I was like, I'm just nervous. Like, like a needle is about to drag in my skin. Like, can you chill? And so, yeah, kind of a bad experience there. But then I got my nose piercing there, and I had always wanted my nose pierced, but I was so nervous to get it because it's like, it's on your face. And I didn't know if it was gonna be super painful. So I ended up getting that, and I just got really nervous the whole entire time, and I wasn't planning on getting it that day that I got it. I actually was playing volleyball with a couple friends, and I was becoming really cocky in my skills, and I suck at volleyball, so I don't know what I was doing, but basically I bet that if I lost, that I would go get my nose pierced like right then, because I was just prolonging it. And I really thought I was gonna win, but I did not. So we hopped in the car and got my nose pierced. So yeah, it was a lot, but I love it. I'm obsessed with it too. So I feel like everything I've done, I really have loved, because I do put some thought into everything that I get done, because it's like, I mean, it's your face, it's your body, you know? But it did not hurt that bad. What is my favorite food? If you're close to me, you know it is steak. I could literally eat, like, my dream is to stop at one of those truck stops that's like, can you eat this huge slab of meat and you'll get it for free? Like, I want to do that. That is a goal of mine. and I will finish it. I can down Fogo like any day. I don't understand vegans. I have a close friend who's a vegan and I'm confused. But yeah, that is my favorite food of all time. Like I could eat that every day, every meal. It's delicious. When did you start to bake? So I grew up in the kitchen with my mom. Like she cooked every meal for us. She did like every bake sale, everything. And growing up, when I would see her like in the kitchen, she would always get like so excited for people to try things, and like it would just bond people together, just like from her food, her baking. And something I noticed she did a lot was when people were sick or there was like a funeral or just like an event or something that was a big deal, she would always bake something for that person. And so it just meant a lot to them, and I grew up seeing that. So to me, baking was very like sentimental. It meant that like I cared for you, I like value you almost in a weird way. And so when I kind of got into it, I did it for someone's wedding, actually, one of my family friends, and I've known her like forever. And so she started her wedding and she asked me to do her cake, and I felt so honored. I did not know what I was doing, but I felt so honored. And then after that, I've done about almost 12 weddings, which is insane. And I've done birthdays. If you know me, you know my cake balls. So I just kind of got into that for that reason. It was just my way of being like caring and like loving, and I'm not always good with words, so sometimes I do things with actions. And so baking was a really important and is a really important part to let people know that I see them, I love them, and like I'm supporting them in a way. So yeah. Someone asked what my coffee order is, and I'm pretty simple. I almost said basic. Well, sometimes. My coffee order is like an iced Americano, pour over, or French press. Those are my favorite. But if it's a coffee shop that I don't really like the coffee, like the beans that they use, like Starbucks, I will normally get like a cappuccino because I don't really want to taste the beans. But it really just depends. Mainly, like if my friends grab me a cup of coffee, I would get either French press or just a black iced Americano. I love this question. So someone asked me, what is your biggest purpose in your life and what are you passionate about? And so I think these kind of go hand in hand. My biggest purpose in life, it sounds really cliche, but it's to like share God. God is like the most important thing in my life, and I realized that especially in the last 2 years. And so I think my passions go with that. God has given us passions to be able to share. So I feel like they kind of correlate, but I think things I'm passionate about for sure are music and anything creative. Music was always something I grew up around because of my mom. She is an amazing singer and an amazing piano player. Like I definitely aspire to be as good as her. She's incredible, but I grew up around that. I grew up around a lot of like music and like all that stuff. So I think that was a huge passion of mine growing up, and so it's kind of bled into like my adulthood. Is just like music is a huge thing. I think it's even worship music is just something that I love a lot because like that's how I get in tune with God, is through worship. So I think that was a big passion of mine, and same with being creative. I'm a part of the best team at my church. I love every single person that's on that team. They're amazing, and I love that because it's such a creative outlet. Like literally I can do whatever I want, however I feel creative. Like I can change things up, like, so I love that. Anything that is anything that is creative or musically inclined, like I'm all for it. And so I'm still kind of learning that avenue and like finding my lane in that area, but I have the area down, and those are my two like biggest passions in life. What did you want to be when you grew up? And it's kind of hard, but in middle school and elementary I wanted to be a veterinarian. I don't know. And then in high school I was planning on going to college and going to like eventually New York, and starting my own business, doing anything that would like make me have to wear a pantsuit every day and like be a boss babe. I don't know why. That was just like what I wanted to do. But I did not go that route. I was thinking about fashion design at the time, or like a magazine editor. Okay, my Enneagram. I'm definitely a 3, wing 2. So I'm not highly emotional. If you know me, you know. But I'm not really highly emotional. I'm very goal oriented. So when I set my mind to something, I'm like, we're doing this. Like, this is the plan. And that can become, being stubborn, but I'm learning. But I love being a 3 because I get things done. And I really do like set goals, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to achieve. And so I can see that even through my life, like me achieving things I always wanted to. It's just kind of satisfying to look at that. How do you feel most loved? My love language is, it really just depends on the day. But I would say mainly would be words of affirmation, because I am a 3. I just love like knowing that people see an effort that I did, or something that I like stepped out in, or like did something that really shows me that like you have seen all the efforts that I put in. And also I would say acts of service and quality time. I mean, almost all of them, but basically those are my main things. I love quality time, but I don't love it with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, there's just specific people that I like love to have quality time with. And then acts of service just makes me think that like you thought of me and you did something that like means a lot to me. So I don't know, I think all 3 of those are how I feel most loved. What's your favorite piece of clothing? This was so hard. I love clothes so much. So this was very difficult to pick, and so I picked a couple things. So clothing wise, I would have to say this like leather shirt. This is so expensive. It was definitely a lot. But I don't even remember buying it either. It just was in my closet one day. Like, I know I bought it, but I don't know. I don't remember when I did, but I saw it on my bank account. So it was a lot, but I love that. It's just so unique, and I love a leather moment, so I think that is my favorite article right now. It changes all the time, but my favorite shoes would be like a girls' night out, are these pink pumps. They look like a lot on camera. They are a lot. Either these or my red heels. Either one. They're just like, this is a girls' night out moment in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely love those. And then my everyday like sneaker choice would be these bad boys right here. They're like red leather, and they're both Steve Madden. So I love Steve. But yeah, I think those are my favorite right now. They're always changing. We're almost done here. So somebody asked me, actually 2 people asked me, what is the biggest goal this year, and what are some goals you have for 2021? And I've got it like all written out on my journal, which, side note, very good book. If you love journaling and being challenged, this is incredible. But I would say my biggest overall goal was just to become more confident with what God has given me, and not always rushing into the next thing. Something in 2020 was like, I felt like I was rushing literally everything in my life. I was just like, okay, what's next? Like, this is the next step. This is what we're doing next. Like, da-da-da-da-da. And I felt like 2021 was just going to be a year of being okay with where I'm at, and like acknowledging where I'm at, and like, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to see it. This is what I want to do. But like, I'm okay with where I'm at right now, which is a hard place to be, but just not rushing moments, and just being okay, like trusting God that He genuinely knows what's best for you. And if I rush things, it's never going to be in God's timing. It's never going to be in God's plan. If I just let things happen naturally, if I give it to God, I'm like, God, this is what I want. This is how I'm feeling. It's like He's going to bring that and do like what only literally he can do. I cannot do anything. And just becoming confident in who I am. I think that was really hard for me in 2020. But just becoming confident in who I am, who God has called me to do. Like starting this was really difficult for me because I care way too much what people think, but just not caring about what people think and just doing what like I know God has called me to do. And so that I even have seen in the last, oh my God, 4 months. Wow. Hello, that was, okay. That was so simple. I made that so complicated. Last 4 months, I've just seen so much change in me personally, just my confidence in who I am and just what God has called me to do has just like skyrocketed. So I would definitely say I'm already seeing that. And if you're not seeing like your goals come true yet, like they will. We're only 4 months in. So just continue to just keep going, you know? So some like specific ones would be spend time with God daily. That was just like a number one thing, whether that's like I said in my car or just in my room. Could be 5 minutes, could be like some days it's like 2 hours, some days it's like 15 minutes. But yeah, just doing it daily. Just increasing my savings account. That's just super practical, but I want to be like set for myself and just being more financially independent and more just like set in that and not having to worry about like I have to take this out and I have to do this, and like just being confident in like that God has my money, God's gonna do what he wants to do, and making sure I'm tithing, which was something I wasn't really doing consistently. So now tithing was a really big thing. Working out. I loosely work out, so we're gonna fix that. But yeah, and starting a YouTube channel was one of the ones I wanted to do, which I've already done. So that is amazing in itself. I'm really proud of myself for doing that. And then just getting some really good close friends around me, some good girlfriends. And I think that that can be hard, but just making sure that the people I'm surrounding myself with are people that are going to grow me, like good girlfriends that I feel like I can confide in and just become close, like my ride and dies, you know? So I think those were kind of my goals and my overall goal for 2021. So this one I get all the time. Why do I hate naps? I hate naps because things happen every time I take a nap. Something happens. Like when the Wakanda dude passed away, literally I was napping. That was the last nap I took because I was so done. I was like, things happen when I'm asleep. And then when the first like hit of COVID happened and things were starting to shut down, I remember I woke up from a nap and all of a sudden things were shutting down and it was just tragic. And so no, I do not take naps. I have FOMO. Things happen when I fall asleep during the day and it's not happening. So all right, this is where I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys liked getting to know me a little bit more. Thank you for sending all your questions, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.